All right, let's get started with installing Laravel Spark next. So I'm going to skip right to the installation steps and follow through the instructions. So adding repositories to the composer.json, I've already done that. It's right here, good to go. Next, we're going to add the Spark package. In my case, I'm going to use Stripe instead of Paddle. So I'm going to change Paddle to Stripe. Then we're going to run composer update. While that's going on, we can see what's next. It's going to ask us for some tokens. I'm going to do that off screen. I'll edit that out in a second. Oh, I think I've already done it actually. Oh, okay, so apologies. So yesterday when I was preparing for this, I added the auth.json file with my token, so it didn't ask me for my token or password. So that should all be good to go. If you haven't done that yet, you can just follow the instructions in the documentation. The next step is to install Spark with the artisan command. And then finally migrate. So the migration looks like it added Spark columns to users tables, created subscriptions, subscription items, receipts, and a tax rates table. If you're using the Stripe edition of Spark and plan to build a model other than user, you should. I'm going to build the model. I'm going to build the user model, so it's all good. Navigate to spark.php. Let's check this out. Spark path. Okay, so what URL do you want your Spark billing application to be on? Billing, that's fine. Middleware, yep, that's totally fine. Branding, these configuration values. Okay, let's fix this. So let's do it before and after. So if we go to snaps and then billing, we are not finished yet. Okay. Configuration of Spark for Stripe. I've set my environment variables previously, so again, I'm not going to do it here, but if you haven't, you'll need to do that. I do need to change my webhook though. All right, so the webhook has to be your URL and then /spark/webhook. Easy enough. And then configuring billables. Okay, so this is the part I missed. So we're going to go into the user model and add the use billable trait. Spark billable. As you may have noticed, each entry in the billables configuration. Okay, so let's look at that. So Spark, billables. Oh, okay, so billing user. Billing billable resolution. So if you want to change how Spark finds your billable entity, you can, but it's going to default to the current user. That's easy enough. So example, if you wanted it to be a team, you could default to the current user's team. Billable authorization. Check to see if they're allowed to access the billable portal for that user. Yes, based on the current user ID or the current team ID. All right, defining plans. This is next. So we need to make a product in Stripe. Call it OC Snaps. This will be actually the tier, wouldn't it? Okay, so we'll call it starter plan. I'm gonna have two plans: starter and all three: starter, premium, and unlimited. Starter plan. OC snaps. Unit label snaps. I won't override that one. That's fine. That can stay. Metadata would be nothing I don't care about right now. pricing for this is $5 a month, USD, recurring monthly. Yep, that's it. So we're going to take this product ID. We don't need product. We just need price. Price ID, put it in there. We don't have a yearly price. And the name is going to be starter plan. This plan, I don't know what to put it as a description here. The starter plan gets you up and running with 500 snaps a month. I don't know what the actual plan will be, but we'll leave that for now as a test. And then we're going to add one more plan called Premium. And the Premium plan extends your snaps per month to 5,000. So we'll go back and make the product for the Premium plan. Standard pricing at $30 a month, maybe. We'll play around with it and see. Can always change it later. Price ID for that one is this. All right, so then ideally I'd fill in the features, but I'll do that in a later time. Next, if we read through the documentation. Oh yeah, does it mention anything about a trial? Oh, trial days right there, okay. So that just goes under billables, plans, trial days. Okay, we'll give a week of trial. And then to access the billing portal, you just go to billing. Okay. There we go. So now we're on the billing portal. Signed in as Owen. Wonder where it's getting that from. I wonder if it's trying to use that. Our billing management portal allows you to conveniently manage your subscription plan, payment method, and download your recent invoices. It looks like you do not have an active subscription. You may choose one of the subscription plans below to get started. Good. All right. So the next step is in my case, I don't need any of this eligibility stuff. It's pretty simple. I don't need per seat. It's good that Spark offers all of this, but in my case, it's very simple. Incrementing, decrementing seat count. Don't care. Turn on do not disturb for a little bit. All right, so back here, so subscription status, we will need to do this, but we're going to do the middleware that Spark offers. So we probably don't even need this. You can add incentive text for monthly or yearly to encourage one of those options. You can archive a plan, and you can delete an account. Okay, so let's do the middleware part. So we're going to do root middleware subscribed is called verify billable is subscribed. Put it in the right order. Import that middleware. And then we're just going to need to add it to any route we want to protect, essentially. So in my case, those routes are going to be basically all my routes, I guess. Okay, let's just do the dashboard as a test. So we'll do subscribed. All right, so instantly we get redirected to billing when we hit the dashboard, which is perfect. exactly what we want. All right, and then the other thing I want to do is, because my app is API based, I want to throw in that check, basically this check, when they make an API request. So that's going to be an API. But the only issue is I don't want to redirect them to the billing portal. I want to return a 401 maybe. So if we do snap controller, here's our controller, here's our request. We basically just want to do this. They have to be subscribed in order to hit the API. So now if we hit Postman and make that bigger so you guys can see it, we hit the API. This action is unauthorized. That's exactly what we want. So I just went and changed my environment variable to be debug false. So we don't get the stack trace back. And now if someone hits the API with a token that is not subscribed, they'll get this action is unauthorized. And a 403 response. That's perfect. And again, in my case, I only need to check if they're subscribed at all, because if you have a subscription, then you can hit the plan. In the future, what I'll need to do, I'll do this off the video because it's specific to my domain, but I'll change this logic here to say if they're subscribed and the number of snaps that they've had this month is less than the amount on their plan. So nothing more for the middleware. That's pretty simple. Taxes, I will skip. I don't need to click VAT for now. And then Spark provides a couple of events for you out of the box. When a subscription is created, you can do something. When the subscription is updated or canceled. Grace period. So by default, you'll give them a grace period. So if they cancel on March 1st, but their subscription actually ended on March 5th, they'll still be able to use the app until March 5th. All right, customization. So let's go back to the billing portal. This is the default billing portal. Let's update our branding here. So our tailwind color is going to be called brand primary. We'll save that and see what happens. And it's obviously not pulling in our styles, which seems like a oversight. That's okay though, but we can fix that by quickly just making our color the actual color, hex code. You can also change the font if you want. So by default, you get Nunito. So you'd have to publish the views and then you have to modify that yourself to get the font that you want. Not a big deal. I do want to do the logo though. So let me see if I have a version of the logo here. I don't. Where would it be? Application logo. Oh, logo. So I'm going to take the SVG for now and just copy paste it into a new logo file. Good. And then it wants it in public. So then we need to update our Laravel mix to copy directory. Copy directory resources SVG to public SVG. And then that should be it. We'll run mix quick to move that file for us. But you can see there that the logo is included. So let's back this up. We're going to go to resources. We're going to go to SVG. We are going to define a width of how big? It needs to be a little bit smaller. So right now it's 336 or maybe like 260. How's that look? Better. And then we're just going to call this billable logo as recommended in the docs. And we're going to update our Spark config to be billable logo. But I did change the path to be resources because when this is going to be deployed to Vapor, the public directory gets blown away because it gets moved to a CDN. So PHP won't be able to find and include the contents of the SVG file. That's why I think it would have been a better choice if this was just a URL and then Spark included it as an image instead of like pulling out the contents and embedding the contents in the page. All right, so a couple other configuration items here. You can configure receipts. You can configure your receipt data. When you go to production, you should make sure you fill this stuff in. Okay, so I'm going to go through the flow now and see what happens. So I'm on the dashboard. I get redirected here. I need to share my site to Stripe. I'm going to pull this in. So because this is a newer URL, I'm going to have to log in again because my cookie doesn't exist here. Log in. All right, so instantly I'm redirected to the billing page, which is perfect. I can choose between the starter plan and the premium plan. I'm going to choose the premium plan. My card number is 424242424242, which is the test credit card on Stripe. It'll expire sometime in the future. You can add in some extra billing information, it looks like, if you need to collect your business name or VAT for tax purposes. And out of the box, it did not work. Okay, so what did we do wrong? It looks like it wanted to send address country along, but the form didn't ask for it at all. Is that something that I forgot to configure? So path is billing, middleware, brand, prorating, no VAT, receipts, billables. There's no configuration option for sending addresses. If I search for address, country, nothing. Search up here, country, nothing, address, email address. It's different. That's a paddle thing. Trial periods, payment up front. It does seem weird that there's no, like, where's the address here? There should be an address field, or at least zip code. See if we can dive this a bit. Setting up stripe element. It's like pretty straightforward though. Like none of this was collected. Oh, it's pulling it from the billable entity? Let's see if we check the table. Did Spark add a whole bunch of columns there to the users table? It did. So there's billing address, billing, all this billing stuff. But we're expected to collect that? Oh, it looks like if you can collect VAT, you'll be able to add the address information, maybe? Or at least the country? Okay, so let's back this stuff up. Let's do back all this out. We're going into config. Um, kind of broken, in my opinion. Let's see. Does this make a difference at all, though? Okay, so now I said collects VAT true Canada, and then 4242424242, 222123. Cool, whatever. Subscribe. All right, so that worked, but to me that's a bug. Um, the Stripe edition of Spark currently only works if you say you're collecting VAT, because that will. I'm diving into the Spark code now. If we collect VAT, so that's true. I set it to true in my configuration file here. Where is it? Collects VAT, collects EU VAT true. So in my case, I don't want to collect VAT right now out of the box, but I set it to Canada, which set collects VAT to true, which allows the user to select a country. And Stripe needs a country regardless of if you're collecting VAT or not. So in my opinion, that this just needs to be moved down maybe into here or added to this check or something. Um, Hopefully Taylor responds to that and we can get that cleaned up. So right now the workaround is just to say, yes, you collect VAT in your home country, I guess. But other than that, it let me create the subscription. You can see I'm currently on the premium plan. I'm able to change it. I can update my payment information, at which point it gives me my whole address field. So like to me, this should be available when you create a subscription, regardless of if you're collecting VAT. And I can cancel my subscription if I wanted. So for now, I'm going to go back to my Snaps application. Because I have a subscription now, I'm able to see the dashboard and I can use the app as intended. I can also now hit the API and I get back my image instead of getting back the unauthorized error. If I were to go back to the billing portal, I could then cancel my subscription, but it won't be canceled right away. It'll be canceled in a month because I've paid for a month. So canceling says at the end of my current billing cycle, do not renew. Kind of wish there was a two-step process involved there. It's too easy to cancel. Um, the other thing I'd like to see here is I did cancel, but I technically still have a new subscription. Or I still have a subscription active, which this is kind of what that's saying, but like it should still, I think it should tell me that I'm on the premium plan still until March 16th or whenever my date would end. But for now, I can go back to the dashboard and I can still see everything as normal. All right, so that's how you can get started with the Spark Next. In my case, it was the Stripe edition. Pretty straightforward to get up and running. There was a brief issue with the address. Hopefully, they can get that fixed right away. Other than that, not too many complaints. I think the logo could be done better as an image instead of an include, and a bit more detail on the subscription page. But other than that, well worth the money. Spend $100 on your site or 200 for unlimited sites. Save you a lot of time and effort. All right, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you can follow me on Twitter at Owen Conti. I'll see you next time.